Hello guys, Sniper Hunter here, and today I'm sorry for not uploading videos on YouTube because I just been busy with my studies because okay, so we're gonna talk about sort of productions. I mean, what's wrong with this channel? It's just an inoffensive YouTube channel. It's offensive. He only dislikes Rainbow. It says how Trump will save Thomas. And he even hates Sora's Legend of the Lost Treasure. I didn't even watch Sora's Legend of Legend. I never watched Sora's Legend of the Lost Treasure, but this movie is amazing in my opinion. And he says that everyone will respect his opinions of, because there is another video of, so how to, play it. So.
Today's going to be a bit of a rant video, and no, I don't care who I offend.
I got this real moron thing I do, it's called thinking.
Thomas fans online act offended every day over nothing, so why not stir the pot myself? I like to think of myself as very similar to George Carlin in this case.
I don't just roll over when I'm told to.
I want classic Thomas and Friends back and for it to be an escape from the real world. First off, Mattel needs to stop bringing politics into Thomas and Friends. Mattel has zero clue as to what Thomas and Friends really is, as they have been failing the brand ever since they took over, forcing Henry and Edward, two legacy characters, out of the main cast just to include brand new female engines is a perfect example.
Because, Henry and Edward was retired since season 24 as Chef for Edward, I think, and Henry doesn't have any episode for his retirement, but Edward he has. But this makes no sense at all.
The show already had plenty of female characters to push forward. Mattel's agenda was to be inclusive, and they failed. In the end, they introduced agenda-based garbage characters such as Nia.
I mean, what's wrong with Nia? Nia just replacement for Edward, wasn't. So
introduced agenda-based garbage characters such as Nia.
Because
Fuck them! And shame on them.
Because in my main stories, in my stories for beautiful Chef for Nia, except for Edward Henry retired, but no, it is not, because this video makes no sense at all.
This applies to Ashima as well. These two engines are painted a very specific way, looking nothing like the other engines of Sodor.
Because Mattel will be very specific with locomotives because the company knows the franchise. Mattel makes franchise like Hot Wheels, Barbie, etc. But Mattel in general, it's not trash at all, because this is worse.
Mattel really showed just how out of touch they are.
Fuck them! And shame on them.
Even though Rebecca isn't painted like Nia and Ashima, the three engines share the same character flaw. They have no character. There's nothing to them, and they're a disgrace to the brand.
Both of them, they had characters.
Rebecca had potential, I will admit that. But Mattel didn't recognize and go through with any of it. It's all just insulting to Henry and Edward.
For me, it's good though, because maybe Henry and Edward will be taking a bit of rest after all of these episodes. Retirements are a bit sad, but it needs to be comprehensive.
If all engines go ends after season 4 and we get a brand new TV series, Mattel needs to stop with these pathetic political social agendas. stop adding terrible characters to the show just to phase out the only good characters left. Please just focus on the original cast. Kids deserve classic Thomas and Friends, similar to what we saw in 1984.
Man, I had to say this, but kids already have these opinions. Who doesn't like the classic Thomas, or who likes the reboot Thomas? But I would prefer more the original Thomas, because you know the reboot Thomas is very good to me, because it's very easy, because I don't have the franchise of the Orange is Gold, because they just in 2022 just made Thomas, Percy, and James out of paper, because they look so fucking horrible. But I would try to keep in mind by still they make them. So anyways, let's continue.
And the high quality characters we all grew up with. This entire idea of being inclusive is ridiculous. It's not Thomas and Friends.
It is Thomas and Friends, but the three of them is very out of the series, because they made a video for Edward, because I had to say, oh fuck, not this.
Making her way to the train. Bake me a fucking loaf of bread.
Oh.
Couple of corn muffins, jelly donut, I don't give a shit. I'm in the market for quality baked goods.
Now, I am a big fan of Season 6. I personally love the season and have many fond memories of it as a kid, but many fans don't feel the same way as I do. Season 6 seems to be one of those seasons where you either like it or just dislike it. I haven't really noticed anybody in between. So today, let's take a look at one of its episodes that wasn't the strongest, recognizing the episode's good parts and its obvious bad parts. So let's rewatch Edward the Very Useful Engine, an episode I used to love as a kid.
Hey, there is, here's him.
Michael Angelis was just fantastic in this season. So
Because you're hating. You know what? Okay, let's continue. What? I mean, you know that you like Edward the Very Useful, very old engine, because I mean I like him too, because he needs to take a rest of all these episodes. Is become the dilemma. Well, the various reasons why kids would call him Edward Thomas, because enough yapping. We just watch
episode
it.
starts off with the typical season 6 introductory fluff.
The engines on the island of Sodor are good at different things.
A big reason as to why fans dislike this season, and I understand that. The fluff is not needed, but even so, I enjoy seeing the season 6 visuals, the engines, and their rolling stock, as well as hearing season 6's music.
When engines have heavy loads, Edward buffers up behind and helps push.
Now, one thing I want to point out is that I do enjoy the idea of Edward always being a back engine to help others up Gordon's Hill.
Yes, I understand that.
It makes sense. He's having a rest at Wellsworth Station, and an engine comes through in need of help, just like James did in Season 2's Donald and Douglas. So the episode states that because Edward is old, it makes the others think he is unreliable. This is not a brand new idea.
Yes, it is.
Edward is old. Some engines
Yeah,
think
check
this
the
makes him
comments.
unreliable.
We then see the big engines at Tidmouth Sheds, mainly Gordon, saying Edward is useless and should be taken out of service. But of course, Henry and James agreed. So this is a big problem of that people have with the episode, including myself.
Means taken out of service. And not a moment too soon, said Gordon. And the other big engines agreed with him.
The idea of Edward being unreliable and too old is just not new.
Okay, enough for yapping. Just check it out. His 8 videos. All right. Edwin the Fish surprise we fired for 2021 James. For me, it doesn't look bad. I mean, 2021. I mean, Wooden Railway 2021 James would be super cool. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me. For me, I like the 2021 James because it looks very simple and I really wanted to do those Fisher Price Golden Railway because it's gonna continue. Alright.
I have been wanting to make this review for quite some time now.
Did you mean to look like that?
Now, we all know the 2021 Thomas Wooden Railway line is insulting to what Thomas Wooden Railway is at its core. And
Because Fisher Price is trying to recreate the original series that used to be canceled because I'm not talking like that because so let's continue.
And well, it was also a complete failure. There's been 0 permanent releases for years now. And not to mention, you can't even buy the line on Mattel's website, or in stores for that matter.
It's our way of saying, bend over just a little bit farther so we can stick this big advertising dick up your ass a little bit.
Hey.
Miserable.
Sorry, YouTube.
Nope.
I didn't mean to say these words because
Hey, let's dismantle another engine of this line. So we'll be taking a look at James the Red Engine, or what's supposed to be James. Now, as we all know, Thomas Wooden Railway is all about simplicity, letting the high-quality wood and paintwork speak for itself. Not to mention, the characters had just enough detail that was seen in the TV series, just enough to represent the character. And once again, it's not supposed to be a line with details shoved onto the models to the point where it's a detriment. A few clear examples would be the rivets, side rods, and of course, the wheel configurations. If all you care about is wheel configurations, go collect Bachman. Thomas Wooden Railway is not for you. James, along with the entire line, is out here looking like monster trucks. Now you may say, well, it's accurate to the CGI series, and I'm here to tell you it's not.
Right now, we don't care.
because for me it looks like the railway. I mean the TV. I mean the 1984 TV version and the CGI series. So I like both of them.
We don't care.
Here's James from the CGI series, and then here's the 2021 James. James is clearly too long and too skinny. His proportions are not accurate. It's almost the exact same problem of that people have with the OG Henry. Thomas fans being hypocrites. What else is new? Not to mention, James's wheels are so big that they extend past the back of his cab and his front running board. Absolutely 0 accuracy. That is fucking horrendous. Whoever designed these wheels at Mattel and Fisher Price, I hope they're unemployed because of it. Not
to mention, for me, this James looks very good because I had to, purchase it because I want this.
All of this effort.
And disrespect in this is very, it makes no sense at all. I really wanted, a Trackmaster James anyway, so I had my wallet is so fucking empty because it's still gonna be fucking empty. So anyways, continuing the review of Soda Productions, it's very, very bad. I mean, this is very unacceptable. For me, 2021 James looks very good, though, and no offensive at all, because very good and very, at least Fisher Price just try its best to make James. Anyways,
and you can't even get the color of his dome correct. So much for all of that detail. Look at James's tender from the CGI